of the NFL is on the air. Today we've got a Week 5 matchup in store here, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the LA Chargers. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action. Here's Hurts. That's going to be brought in by Higgins. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The Chargers had 2-2 through the first 4 weeks of the season. They were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So, you know, they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. You talk about this Washington defense. And they're a tough unit to throw against, currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. The Chargers will bring out the field goal unit now. On the right hash, officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together. To throw, Williams. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
I don't care what game it is. Everyone's always looking for an early advantage, an early break, and they almost had one there. That should have been an interception. Nice catch. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds.
And offensively lucky to have that one back. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Lonnie Johnson picks it. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of it.
Isaiah Pacheco, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
For the extra point.
The extra point splits the uprights. And the lead grows to 10-0.
Commanders 0.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
At their own 31-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit. It's caught inside the 25. Big yardage that time for Washington. 48 yards.
Seems like all the fireworks in this first quarter have been on the other sideline, but here they're saying, hey, we've got some explosive guys on our side too. And that's a big play in a game that's looking like it might be full of big plays.
Naeem Hines, his first carry. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. Here's Williams. Through the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. To the left side, finds his receiver, Noel. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a third and goal.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line.
At their own 3-yard line.
Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line.
He's brought down at his own
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's second and 9.
Brings up second.
That first down
9.
play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Off to the races. Moving inside the 20. Touchdown, LA! A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers are able to extend their lead. Well, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I thought, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
Chargers 17. Commanders nothing.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit. Like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? And maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Williams. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the 2nd quarter.
Point after, right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half.
Commanders nothing.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Their own 31-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Washington. Cortland Sutton, 68 yards. And the Commanders are able to cut into that deficit. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10. At their own 35-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. But Charles, they're really stringing these possessions and scores together early. We're still in the 1st quarter, but if they can score again here, look out.
Yeah, and as you taught me when broadcasting games, what we're supposed to avoid, and that's blowout. But that's exactly what's going on here. Down 3 possessions just the 1st quarter. That goes beyond any worst-case scenario we might have thought coming into this game. And another touchdown here, that should eliminate any hopes for any type of a comeback.
Here's Hurts to throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. You talk about this Washington defense. They've been very good against the pass so far this year. Number 4 in the NFL right now.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
63, 63, 63. Man.
Throwing is Hurts. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And the Chargers.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think, a guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
Charger football to start quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Hey, Silver. Don't touch that. 73. Go Silver, ready? Tiger Hornet. Don't touch.
Hurts. And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, and those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one.
And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Terry McLaurin, 66 yards. And the Chargers continue to pull away here in this first half. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 up to 27.
First and 2 at their own 27-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes it's not really true, but last time that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
That's completed right side to Palmer. Down the sideline he goes. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown.
Washington.
Trey Palmer, his first touchdown on the year. And the Commanders get a bit closer. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll cut this to a 17-point spread.
Commanders 14.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, it might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final game.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Hurts sets up to throw it. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. On 4th down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up, and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
And I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
From the 24 now, here's second down and 5. Play action. Now Williams. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Trey Palmer with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is trimmed down to 10.
31. Commanders 21.
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
It's now second and 6.
From the 39-yard line, here comes second down and 6. They'll set up to throw. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
They run it with Pacheco from the gun. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
So people been playing defense in this one. There's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Second down and 3. From the gun, it's Hurts. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 12-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. From down at the 12, it's first and 10. They're going to look to throw. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Chargers are able to stretch out their lead. Extra point attempt here still to come. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
38, Commanders 21.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone. So this ball will come out to the 30 now. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
But whatever they called on defense, they made sure they were ready for the pass on that snap, made their proper adjustments, and helped force an incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
As they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
A 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
And that is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Second and 10.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line.
A gain of 15.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
To the air once more, Williams. Down the field, he's got Noel.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
It's a gain of 23 yards.
23 yards on the play.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Palmer going in motion right. To throw, it's Williams.
This will be caught at about the 6. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts.
A 6-yard pickup.
As they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
6-yard line.
2nd and 4. They could still get a first down without scoring. Looking to throw is Williams.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington.
Touchdown,
Kyle Pitts
Washington.
From 6 yards away.
And the Commanders get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going.
63.
And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts.
It's a gain of
as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. This pass complete to Higgins. And crossover out of bounds right at the 25.
It's a gain of
16 more on that one and another first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Back to throw now on first down. Touchdown! DK Metcalf as the first half is winding down. And the Chargers will extend their lead here just before halftime.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen, ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 35-yard line.
"13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on first down. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Incomplete.
Well, after watching him ring the bell that many times and put the ball in the end zone throwing it, you had to figure they had to bring some type of pressure. They had to change things up on defense.
And able to get to him, put him on the... And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he'll score. Touchdown, Commanders. Kyle Pitts in the final seconds of the first half. And the Commanders are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is trimmed down to 10.
Commanders 35.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And that's going to skip into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. Across midfield. And finally taken down at the 34. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. Breaks through the contact. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lane. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
And this was a little bit of the knock on him coming out of college. Sometimes the concentration could wander a bit. This should have been a big play, but somehow he's not able to corral it.
To the air, Williams. This ball down the field for Pitts. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. And the Chargers will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Tough one there. First drive of the third quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
We'll start the drive here with Pacheco. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. 89 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And his throw here is incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Pacheco gets it up the gut. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 2 yards still to go. Third down now.
A gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 2.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down. Throw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn. You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They're going to try and throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And it'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards. So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10. Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Pacheco. And he's going to be met at about the 43. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That's out wide here for Robinson. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And he hits the upright, but it caroms in anyway. With plenty of distance there as he banks it in. Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Third quarter now from SoFi Stadium. Here's a 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, it's Williams. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
A gain of
12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down. Throwing is Williams. That's complete to Palmer. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at their 48-yard line.
Second and a couple. Here's Williams. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, the great coach has said football's really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Williams going to look to throw again. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll go. Here's Williams. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position.
Good, set.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 113 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
33-yard line.
Hurts. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Now here's a fake on the jet sweep, and a give to Robinson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Washington on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
It's now 4th down.
When you see those RPOs run, you need the first man to attack and be a disruptor. And on that play, he closed down fast and helped knock it away.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. And the offense will recover, but it won't make much difference here. This will still be a turnover on downs. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. To throw, Williams. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Working out of the gun, Williams. Wide open receiver, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. Wow, the coverage a little too good there. And it's 2nd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Ready, sit up.
They'll look to throw again. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Malik Collins, never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. Back to throw. Williams going for the deep ball. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
On 4th down, here's Williams. He's going to go up top again. And now here's another interception. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Here's Hurts to throw. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. He's going to let it go again. And he backs it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got him this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as is it's good from 56 yards out. And that will extend their lead even further.
So all things considered, that's not the final nail, but it does make things exceedingly difficult now on the other side.
Yeah, because obviously now with a 16-point game, the other guys don't need just 2 touchdowns. They need a couple of 2-point conversions as well. Plus, they'll need either a turnover or an onside kick in there somewhere. So you're just adding to the list of things that need to happen in sequence. And it's going to be a pretty tall order this late in the game.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Given 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Looking to throw. Williams. Quick hitter here. It's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll make it second down.
Second and 5 at the 44-yard line.
From the gun, here's Williams.
And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete.
Complete to number 14, Cortland Sutton. It's a gain of 23 yards. First down, Commanders.
So it's Commanders football as we get back to it.
They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Looking to throw is Williams. Now he's going to step up and run.
And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7.
Jalen Walker. First and goal at the 7-yard line.
Here's 1st and goal. To throw, it's Williams.
This is caught.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and trying to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
On a delay of game there, they could not get the playoff in time.
Frustrating for the head coach, frustrating for the offense. Sometimes you have to get the play call in a little bit quicker.
Second down, goal to go. Harvey will score. Touchdown, Commanders.
Sometimes offense can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
So the touchdown was big. This almost equally big as he'll try to get it to a one-score game with a 2-point conversion. And that one is caught. So they convert here, and don't look now, but this one's back to a one-score game.
Commanders 43.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. Into space at the 45. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
A gain of 26 yards. And the Chargers first down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter.
At the 30-yard line.
Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1.
Hey, let's go. Trimmer.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Commanders going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
28-yard line.
Great, set. Anyway,
First and 10, it's Pierce. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
He was tackled at the 27-yard line.
Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout. As the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for L.A., they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long from Southern California.
Outside of Los Angeles. Last stop in town before I hit the road. And it was hot. I said, man, point that fan at me. And I'll be good to go. Wasn't playing songs for long when King and Candidly. But the prettiest young thing I ever saw. And she was hot. Well, nothing short of masterpiece. I said, oh, I need to know. Yeah, is that your man?